Me here. So we got some new details here that with Republicans and Democrats working together that could put $12,000 in your pocket. That's right. I'm going to give you all the details here of that in this video. In addition to that, after that, I'm going to cover here dozens of states that are putting thousands of dollars in your pocket. I'm going to go over multiple different states that are putting money in your pockets for anywhere from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars. And I'm going to cover multiple different states that are putting money in your pocket as it is tax season here. And a lot of people are getting tax refunds or finding ways to get more money. And I'm going to cover this here in your video. I try to do this here every year, multiple different ways to try to get money for you guys. So this is just one of my videos. I covered here in the last video, Social Security raises. And in fact, for my next video, I got another video here for you guys here. In the next video, I will have another more money here for you guys here for the next video here. So make sure you guys are subscribed here. If you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the subscribe button, then the bell icon so you don't miss out on important videos like this and the next video with a raise video here for you guys here. Click that subscribe button. Also help me reach 500,000 subscribers. You guys are absolutely amazing. I'm trying to bring you guys as much value as I can here, and also updates on the Trump $5,000 stimulus check or the DOGE refund checks here on a daily basis, and all this newly important news as there's so many changes here going on here on a daily basis. Yeah, so we are live right now here. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. And I have seen so many different comments here of people tuning in here from every different state, and even people tuning in here from the Philippines, a lot of people from the Philippines, and a lot of people tuning in here from different countries here as well. And I love seeing people from Hawaii. Aloha. You guys are amazing here. All right, so here we go. Take a look here. We're going to start with this first story, and then we have more to come here right after this. So this is the first story. Parents could see up to $12,000 child tax refund under new bipartisan House bill. Republicans and Democrats are teaming up to expand the child tax credit for parents. Yeah, so this is important news, and we're starting to see more and more people, or more and more, shall I say, congressmen find different ways to put money back in people's pockets. In the last video, I covered Social Security raises. I'm going to have another video here for you guys in the next video, so make sure you guys are subscribed here. A bipartisan group of lawmakers have introduced a bill that would give parents up to $6,000 per child in expanded tax credits. Okay? And remember here, again, I'm not a financial advisor or your tax advisor, but I have seen some of these articles say that, even if you don't have a lot of income or something like that, that a lot of these times you can file a tax return, even with very little income or no income or whatever, or something like that, and still claim these child tax credits. And again, but the laws change every year. So again, I'm not your financial advisor or anything like that. So keep that in mind. It's part of a wider piece of legislation called the Affordable Care Act, led by Representatives Brian Fitzpatrick, who's a Republican from Pennsylvania, Ryan McKenzie, Republican from Pennsylvania on the right, and Sharice Davids, Democrats from Kansas, and Susan Bonamici, Democrat from Oregon, on the left. So we got Republicans and Democrats going for this. And those are just the ones who are heading it. There's going to be more support for that as well. Both the Republicans and Democrat campaigns have called for an expanded child tax credit during the 2024 presidential race, where both sides attempted to make inroads with families struggling to afford care. A new bipartisan bill would expand the child tax credit up to $6,000 per dependent, or $12,000 for families of 2 or more. The current child tax credit levels give parents a refund of up to $2,000 for dependents under the age of 17. Adults with income that exceeds $200,000 or single filer, or $400,000 as married couple, can still get eligible for partial credit. The bipartisan bill would raise the maximum up to $6,000 for one dependent, or $12,000 for 2 or more. It would double the tax credit for businesses that facilitate child care for employees, raising the amount to $300,000 per year for qualifying workplaces. So this is obviously really good news for people with children. I get that everybody doesn't have with children. I'm sure we're going to see those comments, but I'm reporting the news as it comes in. I'm reporting, raises for Social Security, the Trump $5,000 checks, everything that comes in that could put money back in people's pockets, the cap on credit card interest rates, everything that comes in, right? During the most recent White House campaign, now Vice President J.D. Vance and former Vice President Kamala Harris both called for $5,000 and $6,000 child tax credits. So there is a lot of support for this. Republicans are also working on a larger tax credit that they're currently pushing through Congress called the Trump tax cuts, basically. Yeah. The Trump 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which Republicans are hoping to extend with reconciliation, raised the maximum child tax credit from $1,000 to $2,000 at the time. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that. Now, bills before legislature aim to make child care more affordable. Lawmakers are debating proposals to change the Best Beginnings scholarship program, as well as child care tax credit pitch. Also, I'll remind you guys at the end of this video, share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information, because we're going to go through a lot of different things here. Yeah, so a pair of proposals introduced this month. Democrats seek to use an income-based state assistance program in Montana for the growing child care access and affordability woes, are eyeing tax credit as another prospective avenue for relief for parents, child care workers, and employees across the state of Montana. The Best Beginnings Scholarship to make the rising cost of child care more affordable for Montana families would establish that all child care workers at licensed facilities who work at a certain number of hours automatically qualify for the program regardless of their income, and would slash family income eligibility thresholds from 185% of the federal poverty level to 85% of the state median income. This measure comes from budget requests for the state general fund of $5.5 million and $17 million, respectively. So this is for the state of Montana. Next up, this is for Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana. Let me see here, make this bigger here for you guys. Representative Greg Walker holds up a report of a child well-being in Indiana while speaking about this bill. The Indiana Senate unanimously advanced a bill last week to create an income tax credit for families with new children in Indiana. Under Senate Bill 497, most families would be eligible for a $500 returnable credit per child born, adopted, or fostered. The credit must be used in the first year the parents can claim their newborn as a dependent or their tax return. This new bill, which has bipartisan support, centers on one of the several demographic lawmakers are targeting with tax relief measures. Senate Bill 1 includes reliefs for other groups such as seniors, disabled veterans, and new homeowners. So you can see here multiple different things here for this. Senate Bill 497 requires a household income of less than 720% of the federal poverty level for a family of four, which means they need to make under $225,000 per year. Indiana has a standard dependent child deduction of $1,500. And in 2023, a legislature allowed families to double that deduction one time for a child born during that year. Yeah, so a lot of different things there as well. So make sure to look that up if you're in that state. For the state of Hawaii. 4 tax credits Hawaii families need to know about. With state and federal deadlines looming, and again, if you have already filed your tax returns for this year, you can file an amendment, or it's good to know about this for next year, or share this video with families that, friends or families as well that might not be watching this. Tell them to subscribe to the channel too, because I keep you up to date here on all sorts of stuff like this. Number 1, earned income tax credit. We are looking for households earning less than $67,000. These families can actually receive up to $7,830 from the IRS and $3,132 from the state of Hawaii. Looks like for a total of over almost $11,000 if they earn less than $67,000 in the state of Hawaii. Wow, that's a lot of money, and I don't even think you can or cannot have children for that. So keep that in mind. The earned income tax credit is for everybody across the United States if you're a low-ish income. Okay, so I've covered that on my channel. Look into that. You can just Google earned income tax credit. Child tax credit. This covers family with children up to 16 years old. They can qualify for $2,000 per child as long as they worked in 2024. Child and dependent care tax credit. This one helps working families who pay for child care. These families can receive up to $2,100 from the IRS and $3,000 from the state of Hawaii. Wow, that's a lot of money. Food and exercise tax credit. Eligible households can receive up to $220 per family. For the state of New York, money in your pockets. Governor Kathy Hochul proposes sweeping expansion of the child tax credit to deliver up to $1,000 per child. This would support more than 2.7 million kids in the state of New York. Benefits will reach families earning up to $200,000 or more. Triples the child tax credit for children under 4 years old, and the average tax credit for all families would double, proposing the largest expansion in New York's history. You guys can let me know your thoughts on this. So this plan would give 1.6 million New York families an annual tax credit of up to $1,000 per child under the age of 4 and up to $500 per child from ages 4 through 16. This proposal represents the single largest boost to New York's child tax credit in history and a significant increase above the value of the existing credit, which currently provides only up to $330 per child. Quote, from groceries to strollers to kids' clothes, the cost of living and raising a family is still too damn high. And that's why we're proposing a massive increase in New York's child tax credit for up to $1,000 per kid back in the pockets of hard-working families. As New York's first mom governor, I know how hard it can be for parents to make ends meet, and I'll never stop fighting to make New York more affordable for every family. The state of Georgia, the state Senate advances a $250 child tax credit bill unanimously. So this could be coming here very soon. The Georgia State Senate voted unanimously to advance a bill to expand tax incentives for parents with young children. It would expand an existing state credit for certain child care expenses from 30 to 40% of the federal tax credit and create a new $250 tax credit per child under the age of 7. It would also expand tax incentives for businesses that offer child care to their employees from 75 to 90% of the cost of the operation to the employer. The U.S. Congress significantly expanded the federal child tax credit during the pandemic for up to $2,000 and at one point up to $3,600 for children under the age of 6 and $3,000 for ages up to 6 through 17. Will we see that again, or up to $6,000 per child being proposed? In Missouri, child tax credits legislation scores bipartisan support in the Missouri House. A bill to create 3 new child tax credits received initial support by the Missouri House. A similar measure received bipartisan support last year, but fell victim to Republican infighting in the Senate. This measure would help employers foot the bill for their employees' child care costs. And Shields said 3/4 of Missouri's 115 counties are considering child care. Is that deserts or desserts? I think it's deserts. It needs to be approved one more time in the House before heading to the Senate. We have child care crises in our state. We are familiar with it. We hear from our business leaders across the state that they are having trouble recruiting and retaining employees because of the lack of child care. This bill creates 3 tax credits. Under the first, people or businesses who donate to child care centers would receive a tax credit worth 75% of their donation. The donor cannot personally benefit from the contribution. For example, a parent cannot make a donation and expect lower tuition. The second is for businesses that help pay for their employees' child care costs or create child care programs for the employees' children. The third allows child care providers to claim a tax credit worth up to 30% of expenses related to construction projects. The credit also grants tax relief equal to the provider's employer's withholding tax and applies providers with at least 3 employees to work at least 10 hours per week and have been employed for at least 3 months. In Connecticut lawmakers are advocating to push for a child tax credit. Some Connecticut lawmakers, along with advocates from the United Way of Connecticut, want to establish a $600 child tax credit for up to 3 children per family. This plan would phase in at $150 per child and work its way up. So that could be coming soon. A proposed Ohio child tax credit would produce $740 million in benefits to the state economy, an analysis finds. In Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's proposed budget, he wants to create a $1,000 child tax credit for middle and low-income families. In addition to benefiting the families themselves, it will produce nearly $750 million in annual benefits to the Ohio economy. So hopefully this will be passed soon. This is hopefully coming soon. Now, when you couple all these good things that they're talking about, finding ways to give money back to families, in addition, the Trump stimulus checks, where they want to give back 20% of savings back to Americans, which could be up to $5,000. In addition, Elon Musk talking about that Social Security could be getting raises, which I covered here in the last video, which I'll link you to here next. I also have an upcoming video here as well. And basically, we also have a video I did here recently with property taxes that could be eliminated here. I'll link you to that video here as well. We have a lot of different some that are actually happening here. As you can see here in this video, ways to put money back in people's families' pockets. I get that some of these are for different groups of people, but this is literally millions and millions of people that are getting money back in their pockets through different ways. And we have President Trump finding multiple different ways to put money back in their people, states finding ways to put money back in people's pockets here. And obviously, I'll keep you informed of these and the Trump's $5,000 stimulus checks, Social Security raises, and everything happening here on a daily basis going forward. So make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you get notifications when we go live with new videos, and help me reach 500,000 subscribers. You can click here to see the Social Security raises video I just did, or you can click here to see property taxes going away in this video here. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.